This is the plaintiff, Renee Strong. She says she's been a makeup artist for 3 years and has never had the displeasure of working with someone like the defendant before. She provided services on a shoot. The defendant photographer refuses to pay her. She's tired of playing his cat and mouse game, so she's suing for the $500 she's rightfully owed. This is the defendant, Gabriel Zadok Everett. He says he was having trouble getting paid by the agency who hired him, and that was the cause of the delay. He has since been paid, offered to pay the plaintiff the $100 he owed her. She refused and now wants $500? Ha! We'll see what the judge has to say about that. He's accused of messing up a makeup artist.
Litigant, that's sworn you on?
Renee Strong, you are suing Gabriel Zadok Everett for $500 that you say he owes you $100 of it for fees for being a makeup artist on a shoot for him, and the rest to punish him for punitive damages for making you chase him for the money. You're answering a text while I'm talking to you? That did not just happen.
No, it did not. I was actually pulling up the text messages of between he and I of the case.
Okay.
I would never do that.
Because I gotta tell you, that's a little slice into my home life, and I really did not want to see that in here.
That would never happen. My mama raised me better than that.
Honestly, I'm just gonna burn all the cell phones in my house, okay? We can't carry on a conversation without my disconnecting SIM cards. Okay, what happened?
Okay, initially, I responded to a social network casting call for models to Gabriel to provide services. At the current time, he was living in New Jersey City, in Hoboken or what have you.
And what is it you do?
I'm a photographer.
Okay.
And I proceeded and we began to work together, working on shoots and so forth. I think maybe 2 or 3 times we did while he was living in New Jersey, and then he relocated to New York, into Brooklyn, where I live at as well. And on June 12th, or before June 12th, he had told me that there was some shoots coming up. He had a model that was coming in.
So how many times by the time this happened, how many times had you worked successfully with him?
I would have to say possibly 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
The shoot for June 12th, that happened. I provided services for the model.
How much were you getting paid each time?
Each time I was being paid $50.
Okay.
That went well for June 12th. So payment was in Hill, it was waiting.
How long did you typically have to wait to get paid?
Say maybe 2, possibly 3 weeks. Between June 12th and June 26th, he contacted me again via email or text message and said, hey, we've got another shoot coming up. And more than likely, what I normally do with him is have him send me pictures of the models that I'm going to be working with so that I can prepare myself for the shoot. I got the models' pictures for the 26th. We did the shoot for the 26th. That was taken care of. I had not yet been paid for June 12th as of yet, so I said, okay, well, it's been 2, 3 weeks. We kind of talked in person during June 26th shoot with regards to the payment. He says he hadn't received it as of yet. So I said, okay, well, just let me know what's what.
Meaning he hadn't been paid by?
He hadn't been paid by the agency.
Okay.
I waited patiently. I'm a very patient person. I understand things happen. I can't recall the date, but it's in my text, in my phone right now. And I asked him, I said, Gabriel, what's the status on June 12th and June 26th payments? Oh, well, I'm never dealing with that agency no more. I'm being around and whatnot. I haven't gotten paid or anything. They're giving me the runaround or so on and so forth. So I was like, okay, you know, I said to myself, let me allow him to deal with that situation, try to work it out, because up until that time, I was receiving my payments from him. Then I gave it some time, so I contacted Gabriel a little bit, you know, again, and I said, Gabriel, what's up?
Now what month are we in?
We're in, I believe we're in end of July going into August. Call Gabriel. Gabriel, what's up? Oh, you know, they done gave me the runaround. I gave them the pictures. They told me that something happened in the office, that they can't find them. They asked me to produce the pictures to them again, but I already deleted the stuff off my hard drive. So now I have to take my hard drive to this place to have them retrieve the documents, try to get my stuff off the hard drive. So I said, okay. I said, well, that, you know, and I said to him, because I've experienced that before, I said, well, that's going to be, you know, a little crazy. I said, what's the chances of that happening? He says, well, I already spoke to the guy. He said it's possible. I had to give him $1,000 to make it happen. Oh, my God. So I said, okay, fine, not a problem. So when do you think that I can get paid? He says, well, I don't know what's going to happen. I just need to take care of this and get this stuff to them. So he then tells me that he asked them what kind of time frame would they give him to produce the pictures. They said 10 days. So he says to me that they gave him by the 7th day, and then told him that they no longer wanted the pictures. It took them too long to produce the pictures back to them. So I said, okay, well, when are you paying me? So he says, well, how can I pay you? The agency didn't pay me, and they don't want the pictures. I said, I have nothing to do with that. That's got to do with Tina China. That's not me. That's not my fault. I said, I provided you the services, and I deserve to be paid for my services. He says, well, how do you expect me to pay you? I don't have any money. Okay, well, do what you have to do. Stand on the corner, shake a leg, do whatever you got to do. But pay me for my money.
Someone's going to pay him to stand on the corner and shake a leg?
I'm sorry?
What's going on?
I mean, I'd say most of that's pretty accurate. We have worked together more than 3 or 4 times to start things off with. That's all fairly accurate. What I communicated to her to the beginning, actually day 1, is the process of how this business relationship with this specific agency was going to work, if we were going to work together. And that was, they cut me a check, which essentially they pay everyone. So it includes how much I make, how much a stylist makes, how much a makeup artist makes, everyone that's involved. So I'm not paying people until they give me a check. And so the process is, we have the shoot, I retouch the pictures that the agency selects after I give them a contact sheet. I go into the agency and we review them, and once that's approved, they give me a check.
Typically, what's the turnaround time?
When I started out, they said about 2 weeks. They're extremely unorganized, and I've had 2 weeks, I've had a month, I've had
Are you still doing business with the agency?
I'm not.
Okay. Now, I understand that in this industry, and a lot of freelance work, you have to wait to get paid because the person who's paying you is waiting to get paid, and people agree to wait to get paid. It's that way sometimes in the construction industry. It's a lot of industries that are like that. And people put up with that because they want work, okay? But does the agency ever specifically hire her, or you pick her?
I choose who I work
And
with.
once the agency pays you, the check or the cash comes from you in your account, right?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So what happened in this for these 2 shoots that was the problem?
I bring in the disc, and everything's going well. I'm waiting for them to cut me a check, and like 2.
You bring them the finished disc.
The finished disc, just how I've done.
They lose it?
Just how I've done every time.
What happened?
Exactly. I get an email like 3 weeks later, like, "Hey, Gabriel, where's the disc? Blah blah blah." I gave it to a girl who works there. Same procedure every time. It's not like something new is going on. Apparently they had, falling out with her, and she fired or left or whatever. She's not working there. She's the accountant. I don't know what's going on there. I'm not in their offices. Apparently they don't know where it is. They don't have the images. And, so looking at me, they're like, "Hey, do you have like backups for this?" And this, this has been going on. This is probably about 2 months when we're having this conversation. I'm like, first of all, it'd be one thing if at the beginning of our working relationship you asked me to keep the images for a certain amount of time, for things like this to come up. That was never the case, and it had been 2 months. I shoot a lot. One picture is 15 megabytes. I don't have space to keep all this stuff. Obviously, I delete it. I don't have the pictures anymore. However, this was really one of my main sources of income, and the reason I moved to the city.
I might have kept some CDs then.
Yeah, it's just I guess you learn things, right?
Right.
So now I'm in the situation where the owner of the agency is on a power trip and a complete, that's a different story. And, he's being a kind of bullying, and he's like, we're not going to be working together unless you can get these pictures back. And, so I have to take this to a data recovery service out of my own.
Did you do that?
My own pocket, I did. And they communicated.
How much did that cost you?
They communicated to me, well, at first it was $1,400, then I talked about it to $700. And they communicated to me that they could retrieve the data, but it would take like 10 to 12 business days. Kept going back and forth. It kept changing a bit. I communicate this to the CEO of the company. It's going to take 10 to 12 days. He's like, that's fine.
Did you get the data recovered, yes
would
or
have
no?
never gone through with it.
Don't just speak faster. Just answer me. Yes or no? Did you get the data recovered?
No,
because they
on
said
day
don't
7,
bother?
day 7, after I told him how long it would take, he said no.
Okay. So they never paid you for any outstanding jobs, and those were the 2 outstanding jobs?
I eventually did get paid for that.
For both of them?
Right.
Okay. When did you get paid?
Towards the end of July.
Okay. Then why didn't you pay her if you got paid? Now you don't even have the first excuse, which isn't a good one. We'll talk about that in a second. But why wouldn't you have paid her in the end of July?
as this was my main source of income, I was barely getting by. Grandparents helping out. I'm not here to say that I don't owe her $100. I've
I know,
actually
but
agreed.
Mr. Everett, I want you to hear what you're saying. I want you to hear what you're saying.
Sure.
But I need the money more than she does, so I'm not going to pay her. Oh, okay. Whatever. Oh, honey, he needs the money more than you do, so he's not going to pay you.
Only you
Go
knew.
home. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it's easy to say when your situation is a different thing, and I'm not saying that I don't. I am totally.
She can't deposit your. That's very big of you to say. I'm not saying that I don't owe her the money. Of course you owe her the money. It's very big of you to say. I'm not saying. Oh, well, okay. So long as you're not saying that, she can't deposit that in a bank and pay her rent.
Right.
Okay. It's like saying, I just would like to. Are you renting?
Yeah,
or do you own?
I'm renting.
You're renting. Okay. Your landlord says, I need the rent. You say, nah, I haven't gotten paid by the agency yet, so you're not going to get the rent. How long do you think your landlord would put up with that? Not very long, right? Well, neither is she. See, she doesn't have, let me explain to you. I understand how the industry works, that you get all freelance people to understand that they need to be patient. That is distinct from, and you ain't going to get paid if I have a problem. You have the relationship with the agency. You didn't put it on CD, and it sound, which is a cheap solution instead of keeping it in your hard drive. I mean, you don't even sound that unreasonable in not having done that, because you're right, you didn't discuss it with them beforehand. And if they lost it, they have personnel problems, that's their issue. But that's between you and them. The net of all that is that that's between you and them. If you're going to be a businessman, then you have to put your big boy businessman pants on. And when you tell people I'm going to pay you, and all you have to do is wait a couple weeks till, because I need to wait to get paid so that I can have a good cash flow thing going, then that's fine. But once they've waited months, you can't seriously think that they're not going to get paid. Now, you owe her the money. Now, and you definitely owed it for, I mean, I can't believe you didn't pay it in July. That part's, because you're telling her you still haven't gotten paid when we're in July. You're lying to her, right?
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So you have a really good excuse for not paying back money. Can a judge say, I'm going to let you skate?
No.
Why? I mean, look, I can't pay the money. I have no money. Isn't that something the judge should consider?
It's not good enough. You signed a note, you got to honor the note.
Simple as that.
Very simple.
Is it ever is hardship ever an excuse?
No.
Period.
Period.
Okay. Hard people there. Going inside the courtroom.
Not lying to her.
In July, you're telling her that you still hadn't gotten paid.
I got paid at the end of July, early August.
And you're still saying past that date that you hadn't gotten paid. Do I need to listen to all those texts and read all those texts where you're saying?
It is a possibility.
Yeah, I know it is, because you already said to me money was tight. I know that. All right, now how do you figure that this $100 case is going to become a $500 case?
Punitive damages of
On account of what?
The consistence of him lying, because I knew he was lying that he hadn't gotten paid.
That doesn't, however, turn your case into a $500 case. You're entitled to the $100. You're entitled to your filing fee that you had to file to get this case. You're entitled to prejudgment interest from as of 2 weeks from the dates until now.
Thank you.
Okay, for the money being owed to you, that is what you're entitled to, Ms. Strong.
Thank you very much.
All right, just hold on like this.
Let's see what the photographer has to say about coming out here. The judge says you pretty much, bottom line is that you stiffed this young lady after you had gotten paid.
I mean, it is what it is.
What is it?
I mean, I think there's some things. There's a lot of other dialogue that we had on the phone. Obviously, you can't really account for that. So I think some things are taken out of context. But
so how's the business going? Are you busy? Are you being booked?
It's going well. It's going well.
It is? Okay. All right, good luck to you. Head right down there. And you had to go to court to get your money from this young man?
Yes.
Step on in here.
Thank you.
You satisfied now, finally?
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I am. This is the second case that I've had to take the small claims, and twice I've come into the right and was granted what I deserve.
Maybe you should give up makeup and go into law.
No, I enjoy it too much. I just think that those who are in the business, if they're going to work, they work professionally. They keep their word and do what they say they're going to do.
Well, you have to take jobs from freelancers and stuff like this. You really never know what you're getting into. Give me a critique of his work.
I have to say, Gabriel, his work is really good. I would not deny that. His work is really good. I believe that our work complemented each other. I just think that this was a situation that could have been avoided if he had just stayed honest and paid me what was due to me.
Over to you, Harvey.
So the judge mentioned that the plaintiff here is entitled to prejudgment interest, which means even before the case is heard by a judge. If That isn't in your contract. You are not entitled to that money. So if you want to ever get prejudgment interest, if you think something like this happens, you got to put it in the deal. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.